California is a wild place. Them folks there do things quite a bit different than any other place in this country. Now, unfortunately, I'm probably going to see California style situations going on in my home state over the next few years because, well, my neighbors decided to vote for a CIA analyst instead of a Marine. At the end of the day, I'd rather trust a Marine to run this state than a CIA analyst, but, now they're all shocked because, oh, the CIA analyst lied. No, duh. That's why I keep saying she's a CIA analyst. Care less about the political party she belongs in. She's a CIA analyst. But Eric Swalwell has the exact opposite situation. He's running for governor in California, and this man is the exact opposite of a CIA analyst. No, this particular individual happens to be the tool of the Chinese. Now, on top of the fact of that he had the whole Fang Fang thing going on, which don't get me wrong, I mean, she was an attractive young woman. I can understand why he was interested in her. But now it's come out that when he was a freshman representative for the U.S. House of Representatives, he decided to not only meet with the Chinese at their consulate in California, he was bragging about all the needs for the Chinese and U.S. to work together. Well, we've seen over the years how the Chinese work with anybody. They don't work with anybody. They try to dominate. They try to take over. They don't try to have partnerships unless that partnership is done in such a way that they can't dominate. Their relationship with Russia, they don't really like the Russians. The Chinese Communist Party does not like the Russian does not like the Russian state. And it's because of history. Study your history and you'll understand why. But China's been trying to dominate the U.S. for quite a while, and Democrats have been allowing it. Well, it's coming out more and more about all the connections that was in between Swalwell and the Chinese. And I'm going to cover this in a news story, but if you're in California, I don't know who else running for governor. I could care less. But this particular person running for governor, you shouldn't have been electing him to the House of Representatives, number one. I am sure you've got better Democrats to run than Swalwell. Heck, at this point, I would take a fifth or sixth or seventh member of the squad over Swalwell. This is getting ridiculous. And it keeps coming out about all his Chinese connections. Well, folks, you know what? I care. As China as a country, I can understand their whole viewpoint on what they're doing. I have no problems with their viewpoint. I don't like it when it comes to anything dealing with America, sure, but I understand their viewpoint. Them folks are got their own culture, and actually, I like some of their culture. I think their ideas on respect are somewhat grounded in reality. I also like reading up on Confucius. I like reading up on Sun Tzu. I think China's got a lot to offer the world. Just, I don't want them buying up our farmland. I don't want them buying up our companies. And I don't want them dominating the market in several key areas when their goals are not the U.S.'s goals. But Swalwell is all about helping China get their goals fulfilled. He is all about it. So let's get into this story. Before we get into the rest of the video, hey, hit like, hit subscribe if you want to know what's going on with government, whether it's federal, state, or local level. I cover all those things. Also, have a link tree down below. Got my Patreon, got to plug my Patreon. And, real quick, hey, our government was founded to help with freedom and help with opportunities, not the mess that we've got today. We want to make sure it gets
Music
back that way.
licensing
That's what I'm fighting
reimagined.
for. Now, let's get into this story. So, this is on Fox News. Previously unreported 2013 Facebook post by China's San Francisco's consulate shows then freshman Representative Eric Swalwell of California touting great potential for the U.S. China cooperation during a meeting with senior CCP diplomat, which came during the same time period when Swalwell was allegedly targeted by Chinese espionage efforts. The 2013 photo, which was unearthed by Fox News Digital and liked by Christine Fang Fang Fang, her nickname is Fang Fang and her last name is Fang. That's why I had to do so many Fangs. A Chinese national who was suspected of being a Chinese Ministry of State Security operative and who was reportedly working closely with Swalwell's campaign, helping fundraising, showing Swalwell posing with Sung Ru'an. At the time of the photo, Ru'an was a deputy consul general at Chinese Bay Area Consulate in San Francisco. He would subsequently be tapped to serve as a deputy commissioner of the Office of the Commissioner of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China. Why do you have to have so many words in all this? In a title, that is. In Hong Kong until at least 2021. The United States and China have a lot in common in the two. This is what he said. The United States and China have a lot in common, and the two economies are highly complementary. There are great potential for two countries to cooperate, Swalwell said at the meeting, according to the pictures captions posted by the Chinese consulate. I will work actively to promote bilateral economic and trade cooperation, and I'm looking forward to visiting China in the near future. By the way, here's an aside to this whole situation. This was also the same time that Americans were having to deal with toxic drywall in their houses. And if you don't know about that situation, let me tell you, you look it up, it's scary. I've talked to people that had this toxic stuff in their house. It took hazardous material, the hazmat folks, to come in to demolish the house to be able to have it lived in again. It was bad. The unearthed photo comes a couple of weeks after Fox News Digital reported on a California-based law partner for Beijing law firm donating thousands of dollars to Swalwell's gubernatorial campaign. Like Kailing Clay Zhu, Ru'an has a history of supporting interests contrary to American priorities. Ru'an served as one of China's leading officials in Hong Kong between 2015 and 2021 and was a vocal critic of the 2019 U.S. Human Rights and Democracy Act aimed at protecting Hong Kongers from China's authoritarian crackdown on its dissidents that only a single Republican member of Congress voted against. Ru'an blasted the bill at the time as the epitome of hegemony and warned it went against American interests, according to the South China Morning Post. Ru'an also reportedly slammed the moves as a negative and disgraceful role the U.S. playing in China's domestic issues. Ru'an emerged as a central figure in the Hong Kong during China's national security crackdown that began boiling over in 2020, 2021, and subsequent years. According to the Hong Kong Journalists Association, Ru'an told foreign media outlets to inject positive energy into coverage about new extradition laws China was imposing on Hong Kong in 2019. Multiple briefings from both previous and subsequent years showed similar efforts by Ru'an to guide media coverage in favor of China. 2018, he met with members of the American media to discuss how the one country, two systems framework between Hong Kong and China was vital to U.S.-China trade relations. Prior to Ru'an's work on behalf of the Chinese government in Hong Kong, while serving as Deputy Consulate General at China's San Francisco Consulate, public reports said Ru'an and other consular officials sent letters and traveled to Oregon in an attempt to prevent the creation of a mural highlighting China's human rights abuses against Tibetan people. Prior to working in San Francisco, Ru'an held multiple CCP roles back in China, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Swalwell team declined to provide any commentary for this story. The San Francisco Chinese consulate did not respond to Fox News Digital. It's bad enough that certain Chinese special interests are pushing redistributionist tax policies and straight out of Communist Manifesto. Now one of the state's leading gubernatorial candidates has been caught cozying up to the Chinese Communist Party again. GOP strategist Colin Reed said, California's next governor needs to have the intelligence, judgment, and character to stand up to the CCP, especially when it comes to empowering American innovators with common sense regulatory environment that allows them to grow. Okay, it's basically a bunch of political stuff after that. You know, I don't know why people keep voting for this guy. It's well known his connections to the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, seriously, folks, why are you folks in California still voting for this? I mean, there should be some common sense that somebody says, you know what, he ain't good for California, he ain't good for the Democrat Party. There are certain Republicans I wish would have that happen to them too, but come on. This is one of the leading people in the California gubernatorial race. Y'all need to decide what your priorities are because China ain't going to do nothing good for you. China ain't done nothing good for us. Same time he's cozying up with the Chinese spy woman and cozying up to Communist Party members, they're sending material over here by the bushel to poison Americans. The drywall thing was just one of thousands of products that got sent over here that was poisoning Americans. It took a long diplomatic battle to get that whole situation taken care of, just to get them to stop sending it. Now, we still have so many companies that would rather be doing things that are made in China because, well, between government stupid regulations and unions that are just outrageous in their demands, manufacturing in the U.S. is near impossible. I mean, thankfully, there's some states that you can manufacture in, but China or California, y'all are going to have more and more problems. Y'all got folks moving out that could be helping your state, but instead, you've got them not wanting to help out with fire victims. They're wanting to tax more and more while giving all this money away to people that don't belong in the United States. Now, you can call them neighbors all you want, but them folks ain't here legally. They're filled with enough criminals in them that it ain't even funny. And on top of that, the Chinese folks that are wanting to come over here and do stuff ain't wanting to do it for your benefit. And that's what Swalwell is willing to back up. He's willing to help everybody that's against the United States. Well, California is part of the United States. And you know what? If it wasn't all the silliness that was going on there, I'd like to go back to California sometime before I pass away. I want to go see the Pacific Ocean again, and I don't want to do it in Washington or Oregon. I want to do it in California because I like California beaches. I like parts of California. Got some great history there. But y'all keep electing people like Gavin Newsom, and you're probably going, let me guess, y'all are probably going to elect this communist lover in Swalwell. I mean, seriously. That's the only thing I can think that since he's still in the running, that y'all are under the impression, or y'all are giving him the impression that y'all are willing to vote for him. Let me tell you something. Y'all want some changes. Y'all need to get rid of the politicians y'all got running normally and start getting the folks that are down in the primary and looking at them as serious contenders instead of the big name folks that are raising all this money from all over the country and all over the world. Because it ain't doing you no good. You need some common sense there, and Eric Swalwell ain't it. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe, and y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.